friends in the United States keep telling me about how crazy things are getting here. Grocery store shelves are empty, people are working from home, the border is closed to European flights, and toilet paper is out of stock. Well, you see, I'm currently in Panama. Panama is a third world country in Central America, and everything was pretty normal here until yesterday. Yesterday, they announced that they are closing down everything, including the border. I wanted to make this video to show you what is happening in a third world country right now. Hello everyone, I'm Connor Ashley. I am currently in Panama, and if you don't know, Panama is in Central America, and it's actually the last country in Central America before Colombia, which starts South America. So Panama is a third world country, but as far as third world countries go, it is actually pretty developed. Especially when you look at Panama City, it is a very metropolitan area and reminds you of like a skyline of New York City, for example. But Panama is a third world country, and I just wanted to show you what's happening here right now. All right, so right now there's about 50 to 60 cases here in Panama, and right where I live in this neighborhood, there's, I believe, 2 cases. I feel like Panama was one of the later places to actually get hit, and how it started was in this poor area near the city. I guess a principal had it, and then a couple of the kids had it, and because of that and how it started, they decided to close down schools. And they actually just had their summer vacation, even though it might be winter where you are right now. They just had their summer vacation, and so it almost sort of extended that. But otherwise, everything here was pretty normal. Cases were pretty low. Everything was business as usual, really, other than the schools being closed. Okay, so I was just looking through the text with my friends, but about a week ago, my friends were saying that there were like no groceries in the United States. Oh, here's my friend right now. Hello? It's about the... Do you have anything to say?
I just bought a house, and I could fucking lose my house because of this shit.
Oh my god, Connor, we will barely get by. All the restaurants are closed.
I know, I just saw that.
God. Like, why? This is like, people are recovering. Why is everyone like freaking out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, tell me, you're the one making the fucking video, bitch.
I have no idea. Okay, I'll call you back. Okay, bye. Okay, yeah, so my friend Megan just called me. She's the one that I've been calling just about every day, asking for updates, and we've been talking about what's been happening. Basically, a week ago, there were like no groceries in the United States. Like the shelves were bare. People were hoarding on toilet paper for some reason. The European flights got canceled. And then here, basically, everything was normal here, except just the schools were closed. We even went to a grocery store about a week ago here, and everything was really normal. The only things that I would say we couldn't find here were like hand sanitizer or Lysol, but just about everything else they had, and they had tons of stock of it. They did have signs around that said limiting like a certain number of products per person, but it didn't seem like that was really an issue because there was so much stock there. But yeah, as you can see with my friend Megan, who's in the United States, she had a wedding that she planned on March 25th or 28th, and she had to cancel it. And then you just heard, like she's terrified that, they're not going to be able to make ends meet for this time. It's crazy. She just bought a house. I mean, it was just bad timing for all of this. But yeah, no, here, I mean, the grocery stores were pretty normal about a week ago. And I think a lot of what has to do with that is that here in a third world country, like the minimum wage here is like $2 or $3 or something like that. So people can't even afford to stock up on things, even if they wanted to. So I think that has a big part in it, whereas like in America, people can afford to do things like that, but here they just can't. And the only place that was really busy or busier than normal was this place called Price Mart. It's basically Costco, but here in Panama. And I guess the lines were super long, it was super busy, but I don't think they were necessarily running out of stock of things. As I was saying, everything here was pretty normal until yesterday when everything changed. So yesterday I heard that they were talking about closing the Bridge of the Americas. And if you remember, that's the bridge that basically connects Central and North America to South America. And it connects Panama City to the rest of the country, really. And so they were talking about closing that bridge, and they're still talking about it. And if they were to do that, you wouldn't even be able to access the airport, and people wouldn't be able to come here. And they were talking about it because the government told people before this weekend to stay home, don't go to beaches, don't go out. And this weekend, I went to a beach because I live in a beach community. So I went to the beach, and it was packed. So people didn't listen, and people came here to go to the beach anyway. So they discussed closing the bridge to say, sorry, you guys didn't listen the first time, so now you won't be able to even go. However, what they did do is they sent out a release that basically said everything is closing down except supermarkets, pharmacies, and any restaurants or anything like that. They're only allowed to do takeout or delivery, but all bars, everything like that is shutting down, including they closed the border. So unless you are a Panamanian or a resident, when you come here, they will not let you into the country. And if you are a Panamanian or a resident and you come here, then you have to be self-quarantined in your home for 14 days after arriving. And so I actually just got a text from my mom, and she said that it sounds like they will be closing the Bridge of the Americas. But she had to go to Denver to get some things and was planning on coming back. However, now that the border's closed, she won't be able to come back. And they're saying it's going to be a minimum of 2 weeks until it could be reopened. But as you heard on with Megan, they close all the restaurants in Colorado until May 11th. So it could last a lot longer than 2 weeks. In a neighboring community here, a little ways out, it's called San Carlos, and the citizens actually barricaded the entrance to the town so that they wouldn't let people in, because they didn't want people coming in and going to the beaches and going shopping or anything like that. They also closed all of the beaches, so if you go to the beach, you were gonna be removed, and you're not even allowed to go to the beaches right now. And then if you wanted to go to an island or anything like that, unless you're a Panamanian, they won't even let you on the ferries to get to these islands or anything like that. And again, the only things that are open are the grocery stores and the pharmacies. And they have like a limit of how many people can be inside at a time. And I think for grocery stores, it's like 50 people. And so until somebody leaves, you can't get in. And before you go in, they give you hand sanitizer and all this stuff before you even enter. And my mom was in the city the other night, and they went to a restaurant and they tested their temperature and gave them hand sanitizer and stuff before they could even get in the restaurant. So now that they're closing things, I heard that they were going to have super long lines at the grocery stores and the pharmacies, and they're only letting 50 people in at a time. So instead, there's going to be these huge lines, and inside, sure, you're not going to be next to people, so you'll be practicing social distancing, but while you're waiting in line, you're not. So it sort of just defeats the purpose, but whatever. So I decided to go actually walk to the grocery stores to sort of see what's going on. And so I started walking, and I was immediately surprised by how many people were on the roads, how many people were out. I mean, it was packed. I've never seen that area that busy, not even during like a holiday weekend or anything like that. It just doesn't make sense to me, because you're supposed to be practicing social distancing, and they're doing that by limiting the number of people in the stores, but everyone's in line side by side. So it just doesn't make sense to me. But it was so crazy busy. Now, Over the weekend it was payday, so I think that it's gonna gradually die down. So that's what's happening here in Panama, in a third world country. They're taking it very seriously, shut down the borders, close down everything, even the beaches. You can't even go on the damn beach. Wherever you are, hope you're staying safe, washing your hands, practicing social distancing. And if you are at home, if you are quarantined and you need something to do, I have tons of videos on my YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe and check me out on Instagram at @TheConnorAshley, and I'll see you guys in the next video.